load. All right. Oh, share screen. All right, is everybody seeing the 6 weeks of success there then?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Well, welcome back, guys. You made it to week 4. I can't believe that after this, there are only 2 more weeks. But I'm really excited. So many of you are still joining in and commenting on posts on and on. I hope that they've been helpful for you. Is there one thing in particular that kind of has stood out? Maybe one thing this week that you saw that you really liked, or?
I actually like the PDFs that were shared. I sent them to myself and I was able to print them out.
Which, you talking about the PDFs of, oh wait, no, those are scheduled. Which PDFs?
Actually, all of them. There was PDF for host coaching and stuff like that. And then the top 40s and the last one that was just posted.
Oh.
The refrigerator page.
The refrigerator page. I really like that.
Yes.
I really liked. I had to redo it a little bit because I couldn't get it to format right, and it took me a little playing with. But I really like that. I was kind of surprised that this class is the first time that I've seen that talked about. But I really like that. So that's going to be going into host packages. I was cracking up that when I was looking for, and I don't know if you guys have seen the post yet, but I was looking for some audios that I wanted to listen to on the plane going out to Chicago. Because I'm kind of being cheap and I don't really want to buy a movie and, you know, et cetera. So I was looking through my Evernote and I was Google searching training and I found my notes on Lisa Noto's training that she represented at conference, but she had presented to us at a retreat. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I actually had the photographs, if you haven't looked at it, of what she writes in her guilt letter. And I actually do have the file, I think, of that stop sign if anybody wants that for the postcard. So did you guys all get to listen to that?
Yeah.
I did not.
What was that?
I did not.
You did not. It's a good one. It's a good one. You know, especially Lisa's part. Lisa, you know, she's from Long Island. She's very no nonsense, very, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, some of us have that kind of personality that we can, and she even says that at one point, you know, some of you can get away with saying this, some of you can't, but anyway, it's definitely worth a listen. But all right, so as we move on, why won't that click? There we go. This is, you know, a song. I'm not going to sing it, okay? But I have seen videos of other directors when they're doing this program singing this song. You don't want to listen to me sing. Anybody got a good voice? Want to sing it for us?
Not me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But we are, you know, halfway there. I love that it's not, we're living on a prayer, actually. We're doing what needs to get done. And it really is true. Let's face it, this business is not rocket science. It's not difficult. The most difficult part is getting over ourselves, right? And getting to doing what we're supposed to be doing. So what have we learned so far? Okay, we've learned that you've got to increase your product knowledge in order to maximize your sales and bookings. Has anybody done anything that really, they feel like that has really, really taken off for them?
I just played with the products. I just did the cold brew this week.
Good. Awesome.
I think hands-on's the best way for me.
You know, and it really does. Tamerlane, you know, it absolutely makes a difference. You know, you've got to either be able to say your experiences with them or someone else's experiences. So either you're playing with them or you're watching someone else who has played with them. So you definitely need to be doing that. We've also learned that our beliefs decide what you can do and what you cannot do. All right. But that your brain is not completely hardwired one way. It can be retrained. Is there anything that you've done that has increased your belief?
Not this week.
In any of the weeks? Does anybody feel like their belief is stronger? You know, I have to be honest with you. If you know, if you're being shy and you don't want to answer, that's one thing. But if you honestly don't feel like your belief has become any stronger, please go back and rewatch that one. All right. And really think about the Pampered Chef. Think about what their warranties are, what their customer service is, you know, the products, the support that we get, et cetera, because you've got to believe in this company. If that pillar is not strong, all right, then the rest of them don't matter. So I strongly encourage you to do that. We've spoken about, we've learned about how to talk to people about while we're out and about, how to book parties while you're at your shows, and the words to say at both. Anyone having any success with that? I know Carol is.
I think you know, it's just a matter of forcing yourself to try it. You know, I think for most people, it's a little uncomfortable. So the more you do it and the more you practice it, like anything else, the easier it gets and the more natural it feels to you. So it comes across better to the person you're talking to.
Definitely. Oh, I definitely think that it definitely starts to come across, you know, smoother. I don't know how many of you have waitressed. I have, and I hated asking, you know, that question because I worked at a fairly high-end restaurant and everything was a la carte. And I hated asking that question. You're like, oh, would you like to add a salad to that when they've just ordered a $40 meal? But guess what? If I didn't, then all of a sudden they were like, oh, a salad didn't come with it. I would have gotten a salad. You know, like those type of things. And so I need to remind myself about those things too. No one is going to walk away from you going like, oh my God, can you believe that Lisa Joubert asked me if I wanted to have a party? Like, what the hell is wrong with her? Like, no one's saying that, okay? Half the time, by the time they pull out of the driveway, they've forgotten your name, all right? Unless you've made a really strong impression. So you've either made a really strong impression by being really knowledgeable and really helpful and, you know, really excited them about having a party, or you've really pissed them off, okay? And you're not gonna really piss them off by hope everybody's okay there. By asking them if they're interested in having friends over to have a fun night, all right? So we've learned that passion, like actually that's pretty much what I was just saying, shines through and can really influence purchases and bookings at parties. If you are up there looking like you are having the worst day of your life, no one there is going to have fun. No one is going to invite you into their home, and on and on. Carol, I think, taught me this a long time ago. You leave your problems in the flower box at the front door. Excuse me, and you walk in and you do that show regardless of what's going on back in your house. Excuse me. All right.
Christine,
Are
you seeing the chat?
No.
Barb Hatcher.
You are giving answers on your chat.
Yeah.
Oh, I am?
Yes.
Oh, chat 5. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Thanks, Barb Hatcher. Thanks, Tammy. Oh, look at.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes, and Michael Reeves is flipping phenomenal. And, you know, I still hope everyone, if you are a prayerful person, are keeping him in his prayers, because I still am not hearing great things. So.
Did you see what Barb was saying though?
I did. Yep.
From her show, from his ideas. So that's awesome.
I know. And he really is. And I'm glad that, you know, you're able to incorporate them, Barb, because I mean, I love his ideas and his enthusiasm and on and on. There are some things that he says that I just cannot say. You know, the whole thing about the pantyhose, it's not going to come out of my mouth, you know, but, and if I say, you know, shut the door and paint the barn red, no one's going to laugh. Okay. They all laugh when he says it. But in any case, if you haven't listened to Michael Reeves, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, so we've also learned, I don't talk about the barn.
That's right. You do need the accent.
And he's got the accent. So, all right. We've also learned, you know, that our skills will make a huge difference at every party. All right. When you know your products and you know what they can do with those products. And I'll tell you, when you can tell them that they can do more than one thing with that product, okay, that is going to really, really help your show averages. I actually had a host say to me at the party the other night, they're like, why would I buy this? It can only do one thing, where you've got this that will do many. And I'm like, well, Pampered Chef is in the process of moving, you know, and I kind of explained the transition of the different, I don't know what to call, I want to call them realms, but that sounds like really really negative. But you know, the era of when it was Doris Christopher running the company, and then the era of when it was Marla running the company, and now the era of Tracy Britt Cool running the company. There's definitely shifts that have happened in all of those. And, you know, obviously we are on a very good trajectory right now. And introducing products that have multiple function as opposed to a T-Bird. So anyway, so that's just an aside. But and so host coaching, I hope that you embraced all of that. There was a lot of great points that Lisa had, and also that Carol went over last month or last week in her call. And I have to laugh, Carol, because I did chuckle when you said that you were still using that sheet, because I remember having those pads and they were 2-ply and you kept a copy and they kept a copy, and, you know, on and on. But I looked at it again before you even posted it. That's also a great recruiting tool, because it reminds you right on there to talk about the kit credit.
Yep.
You know, and it's one of those things, and Lisa Noto said, and I'm pretty sure it's in this training, that, you know, we don't ask what we're afraid we'll get a no for. So we don't ask them to please make sure they send out 40 invitations. We don't ask them if they're comfortable having 15 people in their house. And we don't ask them if they're interested in using their kit credit. But not offering them the kit credit, you might as well not be offering them the half price items, because it's another part of their host benefits that they're entitled to. And it is our job to make sure that they know that. And that sheet that Carol uses still very clearly says it. You have no way around it. So
and what I have found is, and I don't care what else happens, you know, if I have to leave, you know, if there are still guests there, I don't interrupt and all that stuff, but I don't leave without going over that sheet with her. And I cannot tell you how many times, I mean, it's always going on, that the host will say, I can see I'm right here on this right now, but they see the other levels there.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
such a, and the accounting part of it, I just never want to have a problem. So I'll write check, cash, charge, and fill the amounts in on that other side. And then we're both on the same page. And it, you know, it takes 5 minutes to go over, but it really does work well.
It does, you know, because I've had that embarrassing moment recently where I had to call a host and be like, did I leave a check there by any chance? Because I've written down on the form that they wrote a check, but I don't have the check, and the host didn't have it. So then I had to call the customer. Well, it turned out the customer never ripped it out of her checkbook. So, but anyway.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's just, you know, quick little recap of what we've done. This isn't forwarding as well. Are you guys, like, is my Zoom chat covering, or are you seeing the full screen?
We're seeing the full screen.
Okay, good. So anyway, I kind of have offered this up already, but, and we talked the fridge reminder sheet, absolutely doing it. Are any of you still afraid of doing videos?
I am.
Who's that?
Karen.
Karen, come on.
Oh, I know. I'm doing video, like I'm learning and I'm watching. I'm paying for I got the little, I don't know, the
Leslie Trossett.
holder. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I did have someone ask me if I was doing, like, I need to just jump on it this week. I totally do.
Yep.
Carol will help me.
Yes, I will.
Exactly.
The more you do, the better it is.
Right.
I needed to get on my team page, and my team members, and actually Carol, you might have seen it also. I needed to get on because I needed to find out what they want to do about our fall launch. Would they rather the element of surprise and me meet with them on Sunday after conference so I can tell them all the great things, or would they rather wait till like Tuesday when I know I'll have all the products? So I just, between physical therapy this morning and getting ready to leave very early Wednesday morning, just had a lot going on. And so I started typing it out and trying to figure out the poll thing. And I'm like, oh, screw it, I'm going live. And oh, Lord help me, it's a little frightening what I look like. But you know what? Who cares?
You
All right,
can't, you know what I'm learning is it's about practice, and it's about your purpose. It's not about perfection. And you just have to get over that. And that's not an easy thing for a lot of people, me included,
Yep.
to just say, okay, so I went live last night. I had done that cookware drawing, and, you know, was on live, and you just, you know, it's a mindset. You just have to jump in and believe in what
Absolutely.
you're saying and not worry
I've
about
done a couple of videos where literally I'm just starting and the doorbell rings or the phone rings and I'm like, oh, sorry. You know, like, well, there's nothing that you can do. Everyone understands it. They get it. All right. So did anybody watch Jennifer Courtney's host coaching videos that I posted?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
I mean, I think they're great. I think there's a lot to be said for that, in that you're communicating in a completely different way. It's a much more, I don't know, obviously much more personal way to let her know you a little better and what you're offering and expecting. And so I liked it.
Yep.
I have a question.
I think I mentioned last week, or maybe, I am a member of the Belinda Ellsworth, like she's got a premier membership club where it's like $10 a month and you get access to webinars and etc. And I was watching a webinar with Lydia Martin, who used to be with Pampered Chef, very tech savvy. She was up to an exec at one point with Pampered Chef, but left because really teaching technology was her passion. And she hooked up with Belinda, and so now she does it with Belinda. She's amazing. And so she did a video talking about the percentage of things that get seen if it's solely text, the percentage of things that get seen if they're text with a picture, and then the percentage of things that get seen if they've got your voice attached to it. And it literally goes from like 7% in just print to like 38 or 39%, I think, in with a picture, but it jumps to something ridiculous, like 65% when you put your voice and your face, especially your voice, attached to it. So she was talking about even the importance of just recording a message. And she's like, not a message on their voicemail, but like a message that you send electronically. Because I guess there's an option in Messenger to do that now. Different things like that. She really liked another company that she was working with where the woman does Zoom meetings like this for 10 minutes to coach her hosts for the month. So she gets them all on at the same time, and those who can't watch it, you know, get the recording, you know, so it got me thinking about a lot of things. So I think that those are definitely where I'm going to be going in the future. Anybody else feeling like that, or are you still not ready?
I don't have host coaching videos because, frankly, I haven't had a party here. I have book parties going, and I'm on there. But
those book parties need coaching, Tammy. Those book parties still
need. I talk to that person, but I also have product videos.
Yes.
That I use over and over again in there. So, like the can opener and the ice cream, or the ice cream maker I did do, the whipped cream maker.
Are you sharing the Pampered Chef's YouTube videos, or are you making your own?
No, I'm making my own.
Nice.
I made them and I put them on there, and they see them. It's been on Facebook, it's been on Instagram, and then in the Facebook event. So I'm using those kind of videos.
You just reminded me, because I had a woman contact me who bought the Ultimate Mandolin from me a couple of years ago, who doesn't know how to use it. And so I told her if we were friends on Facebook, I could make a video and show her how to use it. And I haven't done that yet. So I just made my note that I need to do that. So, all right. So, all right. Thanks for sharing that. The next thing that we want to talk about is sharing the opportunity. And a lot of times, like actually this slide originally was called, tonight we're going to discuss recruiting. And I really don't like that label that's on there. And I know that the company, you know, kind of embraces it and on. But I've just always felt like that's doing something to someone. And I don't really feel like that's what I'm doing when I talk to somebody about what I do with Pampered Chef. So I switched the title to sharing the opportunity, because I just feel like that's more descriptive and more, you know, appropriate to what we're doing. And let's face it, it really is just a conversation. There's not a perfect thing that you can say to someone who's not interested. If they're not interested, it won't matter what you say. And there's very little that you can say that is wrong that would discourage someone who wants to join. Okay. So just, the key is have the conversation, put it out there. If you're not sure what to say, get on the phone with your recruiter or your director and do a 3-way. I did 2 3-ways last week with a member actually of Amanda's team, Denise Stafford. You guys may know Denise. And both those gals are signing. One of them was just a virtual conversation on Facebook, and the other one was actually a phone call. So, definitely, if you're unsure, then just reach out and get that help. One of the things that I learned from Jennifer Courtney here is she uses what she calls a 7-question recruiting flyer, and she admits that she's not the one who developed it. It again was, excuse me, the first time that I had seen it in this form. All right, we're going to talk about it in a little more detail in a minute. But because one of the things is there are obviously a couple different ways that you can speak to someone. You can speak to someone going through Facebook Messenger. You can speak to them via text. You can speak to them, a lot of non-personal ways like that, or you can meet with them in person. Clearly, meeting with them in person is going to give you the greatest rate of success because let's face it, if someone meets you at a coffee shop, they're pretty committed already. Okay, like if they're willing to take that time out of their day and go and meet you at Panera for a cup of coffee, that, it says a lot about where their commitment is. So most of those people are going to sign with you despite yourself, if you will. All right, so, so those are always good things. If you can't do it that way and you're doing it over the phone, then these 7 questions that we're going to go over is a really good way to get to know more. You can certainly use these 7 questions with someone when you sit down, but we're going to kind of go over a way to make sure you're not stepping offline with it. But I love this last bullet point on here is then just ask a question and shut up. Okay? You can't answer for them. I've said it for years. I can throw up all over somebody all kinds of information about Pampered Chef and why I love it and why you should do it and why you should be on my team and blah, 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 blah. But let's face it, any question that they ask, even when they say, how many nights a week do you work? They're not asking how many nights you work. They're asking how many nights can they work. All right. It all is coming from that type of sense. And I think back at that when I was asking the questions before I joined, and I was absolutely asking it. It's exactly what I was doing. Are you guys familiar with the recruiting cards that are available on the paperwork supply order form?
I am.
Yes, no, maybe so?
Yeah.
I'm seeing some yeses, but I'm seeing a lot of confusion. They do. They've got a set of recruiting cards. I also have a link that will be posted where you can print them out yourself and cut them out. It just kind of really walks you through it. Kind of a dummy's guide to recruiting. You could do it in front of someone, or you could do it if you're talking to them on the phone. And it just kind of goes through question after question and question. So you just decide, what you're more comfortable with. Are you more comfortable with like how the cards go, or are you more comfortable with these 7 questions? I really like these 7 questions. Not that the cards aren't great also, but I really like Jennifer's 7 questions. And this is pretty much her sheet. All right. So, and here's the key. All right. I really forced myself to do this because it's important. If you need to ask them, do you have questions on how to start, or do you have questions on why to start? Because if you're sitting down with someone or you're talking with someone who is already ready to start, these are going to be your first training questions once they've signed up for their kit. You're not going to waste their time going through this right now. All right. If they're still exploring it and they're not sure if they want to sign, then that's the time to continue with these questions. All right. So, and the first thing, what is it about Pampered Chef that interests you? And you will hear all kinds of different answers. I literally had people say that either it is from, the love of the products, others, to I need to make this much money for drapes. We had one gal on our team where literally her goal was she needed to make some money because she wanted to buy her husband a Harley Davidson. And she knew it was going to take her about a year. It took her 10 months, and she walked away after she was done. All right, good enough. All right, but she, she did it. So, find out what it is that has them interested. And then ask them, what kind of qualities do you think you have that would help you as a consultant? And you'll get some of those people that will say, because I'm a great salesperson or I'm this. But what I think is even better about this question is you'll find out what their fears are without them directly telling you, I'm afraid of on and on. You'll get answers like, oh, I'm not sure that I'm going to be because I'm afraid to speak in front of people. Or I'm not sure this is going to work because I don't have a large circle of friends. So with that question, without really asking a negative out there, you're finding out what obstacles they're going to need help getting over. And this also is great. When you look at your calendar for the next 6 to 8 weeks, do you think you have 4 to 6 days that you could leave, all right, and go do a Pampered Chef party? This way, you're finding out ahead of time, because I don't know about any of you, but I have had people sign because they're all excited about signing, only to find out that they have a wedding that they're planning the next month, okay? So they really have no time to get themselves going. And I want to set somebody up for success. I don't want to set somebody up for, having that excitement and then realizing, oh God, I need to wait another 3 weeks before I can do anything to really get this business going. I would rather know that ahead of time and say, all right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to start booking parties, and I'll give that person even catalogs and et cetera to help them get started. But we're going to send your contract in once this wedding is done, okay? Or whatever that obstacle, if it's a big enough obstacle that's in there. And if they are parents, finding out what the obstacles could be about their children. All right. I think we face it less and less now, but I know that when I first started 21 years ago, I had consultants on my team who would say, my husband won't babysit the kids, which always infuriated me because as far as I'm concerned, you're not babysitting, but you're parenting. That's a, personal situation, I suppose. But it also tells you what kind of training you're going to need to do with them with time management, what type of things that you're going to have to do to help them set up a schedule. Maybe they're going to have to be a strict only Tuesday and Friday kind of show person. Maybe they're going to be, 2 shows on Saturday, and maybe they've never even thought that was possible. So, different things like that. The question 5 about affording the kit, now we have all those different options. I still do think that the middle kit is absolutely the way to go. If you can afford the big one, fantastic. But the little kit, I personally think isn't enough of an investment and doesn't give you enough products. So finding out if that's something that they feel that they can afford, and if they tell you no, anybody know what you're going to suggest for them?
The lower one, if they can't do the middle one.
But what could you suggest for them, Tammy, if they tell you that coming up with that money is going to be a problem for me?
Well, if they're hosting the show, they have that kit credit.
Exactly. All right. You can talk about the kit credit. You can talk about timing so that they get paid before, if they have to put it on a credit card, before that credit card payment is due. All right. We get paid twice a month. All right. So if you can get them going, because my goal with people who join my team, and I've kind of changed my mindset on this a little bit. It used to be to qualify you in 30 days. Mine is now, we're qualifying you in the first week. Before your kit comes, I want you to have $500 in sales. And then in that second week, I want it to be enough to cover the entire price of your kit. And we're doing that through virtual parties. Since I have adopted this, 3 for 3 have done it. So that's another thing that you can do it. Finding out what kind of training works for them is also a great thing to be finding out. You can always answer, like when they say, oh, I really need to see a recipe done in person. Oh, well, that's fantastic. Because guess what? At our meetings, we do recipes, if you guys do. If I had enough people saying that they want to see recipes, I'd be doing recipes at my meetings. I right now just don't have that. Although I've got enough virtual people now who tune into Zoom calls like this that I think I might do once a month where I just cook in my kitchen and let them watch me do a demo. So in any case, just finding out, the kind of training that goes for them. And then you basically take their answers and say back to them. And, I think that Pampered Chef is a great fit because you have this, this, and this in your background. I can help you with this, this, and this that you think could be obstacles, da, da, da. So you're able to basically say back to them how you're going to get them going and ensure that they're successful. And then the last question is, when do you want to get that first paycheck? And again, keeping in mind that they get paid twice a month, all right, based on their sales. So it's very easy to run through that. Now, if you want to see Jennifer Courtney actually go through and do this like she's talking to somebody, she made a YouTube, of course she did. And I have, it's included on this sheet. It's included on a link that's posting later, et cetera. So you'll have the opportunity to watch her entire thing in action. Does anybody have any questions about that or concerns? What do you think? Do you think that this helps?
Won't know till I try it.
Does it sound reasonable though? Does it sound like something you could do?
I think so.
If I can enter, just to talk, I feel like my experience just make Pampered Chef relatable to every host.
Yep.
Based on whatever circumstances, whatever their profession, everybody eats, everybody could use a couple bucks. And this is not something that they have to commit to for a year. This is something they can try for 30 days, 60 days. Now we're coming into the fall. They could try it for an entire selling season, the holiday season, and benefit, financially in 2 months, and just try this.
Selling season.
Right. So just depending on what, this is a relatable profession for any single person. You don't have to get up in front of people. You could just do this online. You could, if you enjoy cooking, you could cook for friends. This is a super relatable and, accommodates kids. Everybody eats, adults, any adult, any child, everybody.
I feel like we are one of the few direct sales companies that actually does touch anyone in any way. Okay.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, that some of the lipstick ones that are out right now look pretty sassy and pretty cool to me. All right. But let's face it, that's not appealing. That doesn't appeal to everyone. Okay. And cooking does, makeup doesn't, jewelry doesn't, candles don't. Everyone at some point in their life has to cook something. Okay. Whether it's in a microwave or whatever. All right, they have to do something. So I'm going to definitely be trying out this worksheet in the next couple of months, and we'll definitely keep you guys posted on how it works out for me, and I'd love to hear the same from you guys. Karen, you do a lot of recruiting, especially, of your hosts and et cetera. Do you think that this is something that you could incorporate, or do you use the cards? What is your tool that you like to use?
The biggest tool is to listen.
Yeah.
Let people talk and listen. Everybody is looking for some extra money, and you have to listen at what their needs are, and then you have to associate this job to anyone and what they're looking for. I mean, that's really just listen to what they're saying to you, how they're sharing, building relationships with your hosts, and then how can I help them? And all you can do is offer a suggestion, offer a resolution as to how we can help them with, this can make your life easier. This can help your family on a vacation, or you don't know how to cook. You want to suit your kitchen. Try this for a couple months.
Yep.
It's very important to listen. Don't be so quick to tell everyone, be enthusiastic, of course, but you want to know what their needs are, and then you can kind of accommodate them or fit it to how Pampered Chef can fit into their life.
Yep. Avoid that throwing up all over them, right?
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
Kind of a vulgar description, I suppose, but it really is.
And again, the one thing that I always share is my favorite thing about Pampered Chef is that people can come join a party and spend $5 or $10 and buy a whisk. You don't have to go to a Pampered Chef party. You don't have to, your friends do not have to shell out $50, $60 just to come to your party. They can spend $5 and support their friends. So I think that goes a long way too.
Smiling.
It definitely does. I don't know if Longer Burger is even still in business. Does
I haven't
anyone
heard about them in a
Burger
while.
baskets? They're not, right?
I don't know. I haven't heard of that in forever.
Moving.
I know that they had to sell their basket-shaped office. Like I remember seeing an article about that. But
That's
Carol, I remember
correct.
being
Good
invited to a party
job.
at your house for Longer Burger
What's the
and
next
just being
one?
like,
What is
all
it?
right, I'm going because I'm going to support,
Beeping. Good job.
Deb?
and it cost me a small fortune.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. They were expensive for sure.
yep.
What do you think? It's lifting.
All right. Let's move on here. Let's see.
Lifting.
Going. Somebody's got a lot of background noise. If you could mute yourself, please. Thanks. These are the cards that I was telling you about. All right. You can buy them on the supply order form, or like I said, and you'll get a usable link to this. You can print them yourselves. All right. They're just really easy, quick ways to bring up points about Pampered Chef. Might be worth, printing out from the link so you can see what they are. And if you want the more professional look, you can order them. But, and then there are also instructions. And again, I have the PDF link for that coming to you guys. All right. So the biggest thing that I want you guys to remember is don't freak out about it. It really is, just a conversation. You're just chatting with somebody about what this business could possibly do for them. And these, again, we're still working on our skills. All right. Again, like I said in the beginning, if your belief is not there, please go back and rewatch that. All right. Because that really is one of the biggest ones. I can teach you skills. I can teach you how to sell. I can teach you different things about the products. I can show you ways to increase your knowledge, on and on. But I can't make the belief for you, and neither can your directors. That's something that you have to do. So, and skills, are the major component of your success. As you are tweaking them, the more you learn about host coaching, booking, recruiting, etc., the better your business is going to be. All right. So the bigger the skill, the bigger the check. So, all right. So, couple things that I want, you to just, be thinking about. Practice recruiting on a friend, or sharing the opportunity. You can even just, and I've done it with some of my friends, all right, where I've said, can I please just talk to you, not as me, but as a consultant, and not as you, but as a host of mine. Because we can think in our mind as much as we want about what we want to say, but until you actually say it out loud, it's different. It's why I tell new consultants, when you're using products in your own kitchen, I want you picking it up and saying, oh, this is the blah, blah, and you can do blah, blah. Here's the benefit of this product, and here are other uses for it, etc. You might feel like an idiot, but you know as much as I do. You've probably done that in your mind 100 times, where you're like, oh, I've got, this response, and this is what I'm going to say. And then you go to say it, and you're like, all tongue-tied, and you can't get it out. All right. So, developing, personals about your business. Get to know your hosts, get to know your customers, make sure that those are meshing. Study the simplified recruiting cards or that 7-question sheet. All right, implement one of them. The other thing that you can do is watch and listen to any of the home office trainings or any of your director trainings. Of course, team meetings. And any other training opportunity that you have. I've got to tell you, if you get an email from your director saying that Robin Schilling is coming to town, okay, that is a day to clear your calendar and make sure you're there. If you get a message that Gene Jonas is going, that's a day to absolutely clear and make sure you are there. If somebody with experience like that is coming in and willing to speak to us, guys, you got to take advantage of it, okay? They're doing something right, okay? They know what they're doing. It's a little late right now for you to register for conference for this year, but next year, start making your plans now. It is the easiest way to do it. After missing it for a couple of years, I promised I wouldn't do it again. I've had that conference fund set up. I've been saving that money. I've been putting it aside. I've been prepping my family. All right. And on Wednesday morning, I'm off. Another, just saying it again, because I know we talked about it the other day, that Direct Selling for Dummies book, which is written by Belinda Ellsworth, is a great resource. And it's not something that you have to sit down and read cover to cover. All right, you can read excerpts of it. So you can read just the host coaching, and kind of take that all in, and then go back and, do the sharing the opportunity segments and the customer care and, on and on. I know some of you got the autographed books from Belinda Ellsworth when she was at a retreat that we did. So there were a number of people on your team, Carol, that got them, weren't there?
Yeah.
I think there were, yeah. So, definitely make sure that you're looking at that. One of the other things that, and Marta Ross shared this, she actually Google searches, ticket activity or recruiting game 31. Okay. So then she finds out what other direct sales companies are doing and what's working. And she watches their YouTube videos. And so she's gotten a lot of great ideas, from doing that. So one of the things that, really was kind of big that came out of that was that multiple hosts doing that host of the month club. All right. I don't know how many of you have seen that. I know people on my team have, where basically you find 6 people who are willing to every month spend $30. Maybe it might be 40. I think it's 40. And then once a month, they're the hosts. So then they get the host benefits. So it really kind of works out for everybody. But so she will see what is hot and trending with other companies as well. I will, if someone invites me to a 31 online party, or I've kind of limited some of the LuLaRoe ones just because there are so many right now. But I get on there because sometimes they've got really great games or wording choices on and on that I then turn around and use for my business. So, don't be afraid to, jump into some of those just to get some inspiration and to see what's working. Plus you'll see things that are working for other companies, so there's no reason why they can't work for you. All right. And lots of shows. The more shows that you're doing, the better you'll get. All right. So make sure that you are getting yourself ready. We are coming into the biggest selling season, guys, and what you do now will affect how that season works out for you. I know I'm a little over, but does anybody have any questions?
I do.
Go right ahead, Sharon.
I pre-ordered my catalogs,
Good girl.
which I'm excited about.
Yep.
Do you know how long do they take before they come?
Oh, you know what? I'll post in our group. There was a whole timetable that Pampered Chef sent out on when things are coming. I want to say it's the week of the 13th, but there was a little graphic. I'll post it in this 6 weeks to success. Directors are getting their things first. People who pre-ordered are getting them next. And then I think changeover kits go after that. So, because everyone will get the changeover box. Well, I shouldn't say everyone. All right. As long as you're active within their guidelines, which I think was March to, someone want to correct me, March to June. Is that correct? If you're active in there, you get the changeover kit. Anyone know off the top of their head?
I want to say 3 months.
I thought it was 3 too. I thought it was
3 also, but then somebody corrected Robin on her team page. So,
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, I'll post that as well. Okay. So that you guys will have that. All right. Good.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes. Can you speak up a little, Tom? I'm having trouble hearing you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Lisa and I have been doing some Facebook Live.
Okay, good.
And is anybody doing that? Hang on a second, we have a little catastrophe going on here. Has anybody been doing the Facebook Live to try to do anything with Facebook Live?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
If you have, are you using the camera on the laptop?
Mm.
Or using an external camera?
I've been using it on my laptop.
Okay. Has anybody been trying to use like a webcam?
I don't have a webcam, Tom. I had been primarily using my phone, and the connection is hit or miss, even though I have very good connection in my home, and I literally do it in my kitchen, which is directly above where the router is, and everything. So the connection should be really good.
I have a problem with connection. I'm trying to get a better
Turn the
picture.
light off.
I missed what you said, Tom. Say it again, please.
I said, I'm trying to get a better picture
You want to get on your bed? You want to sleep on your
On,
bed?
on the camera. So we purchased a webcam, and I can't get the webcam to connect to Facebook, and I was wondering if anybody else was using it, but if you're not, then I'm gonna have to, investigate a little further.
Yeah, I don't know, hun. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We were successful with the laptop camera, but I thought maybe we can get a better view and a better picture from a better webcam.
I know that's my phone. I love because I've got one of those like snaky type of hangers, so I can hang it up where I want it and get a good view. When I'm using my laptop or my iPad, I can't get as good a view.
We actually put it on top of a ladder.
Yeah, and that's like basically what I'm ending up doing. I've got like a step stool and some books and
Right.
yeah.
And it worked. It comes out good. We're having a little lighting issue, and but we purchased a webcam, and I'm trying to get the webcam attached to Facebook, and it says it's not
Okay.
there.
Not sure. And I'm sorry, someone is now printing next to me here, so give it a sec. All right, I think it's done. So, I don't know. Did you just print that, Mike? Okay. All right. So, yeah, so Tom, I don't know if I hear anything or, find anything about it. I'll absolutely let you know. And if you could do the reverse, because if I could do a webcam, that would be kind of cool.
I think it's more of a computer issue
Computer side. Yeah.
than a Facebook issue.
Right.
I'm gonna
All
try to bring it up.
But I'd love to see the comparison though in the quality of the picture though between the two.
Well, the webcam I can bring up, but I just can't bring it up on Facebook, and the quality of the picture is so much different than the computer.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely.
Put the webcam in places that the computer can't go.
Sure.
Turn the
All
light
right.
off. Want me to
Well-
turn the light off so you go to bed? You look
Why are you
tired.
All Well, let's see what we can find out about that. All right.
Okay.
All right. So your homework is going to be to listen to Brenda Colby and Genevieve Black. Brenda just promoted to executive director, and literally she went from like advanced to executive really quickly. She definitely has a lot of things in her background that are working. Genevieve is one of Robin Schilling's downline people, so you guys may have heard that name before or seen it before. They're both really, really good. I've listened to this recording numerous times. Definitely something to make sure that you bookmark and go back and make sure that you check in. Until then, we're going to, ask you the same thing on our follow-up sheet. How many shows, and again, my printer's going, I apologize, it's right next to me. I don't know how many this is. Can you hear me over it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. How many shows are you willing to commit to booking this week? Host coaching calls, keep those going. How many of those are you committed to making this week? Set up follow-up calls with your recruiter or your director to discuss how you're doing. I know that I've been a little absent this week, and I apologize. This week is going to be worse for my team members because I will be at conference from Wednesday till Saturday. But get the homework done as soon as you can so that your directors have the biggest opportunity to reach out to you. And when you filled in that survey slip, just send your director a text or a message saying done. All right, so we know that it's time, and we can set up a call with you if we haven't had a chance to check the Google Doc. All right, and on those calls we can discuss the leads that you're getting. If you're not getting leads, what you need to do. Bookings, the same thing. If they're not working out, we can work before it becomes a big issue. Okay, let's get it done and taken care of now. All right. Thank you all so much for being on the call tonight. I really do appreciate your time and try to be respectful of it. I apologize that we are a little over. Part of that was my technical issues in the beginning, so I apologize. All right. But other than that, we are finished, and I very much appreciate your time. We are here to help any way that we can. You just got to let us know.
Have a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Let us know. Send pictures, send texts, and whatever. Tammy Lynn, have a wonderful time.
I know.
Okay,
Tammy.
I'll be posting.
Tammy, we need to connect. so that I make sure that I see you and, et cetera. So message me where you're staying and yourself.
Okay, yes.
I
I
think I
did
still
send
have
you a message on the conference link too, but I'll message you personally.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on the conference app once they were
Okay.
playing games like Pokemon Go. Like I
Oh, I
can't
did not,
do
yeah,
it.
I didn't get into games. I'll send you my phone number also.
Thank you. I probably still have it in my phone from last year, but just to be sure. All right.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
safe
you.
travels, ladies.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.